How you going, lawnies? You're back with another Lawnporn review video. Today I'm here with two awesome Ego trimmers to have a bit of a review and comparison of the two trimmers, to look at the differences and if you should pay more for the 65cm or if the 61cm is perfectly fine for you. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we have the two trimmers sitting side by side to each other. So down the bottom, which is here, we have the 65cm trimmer, and up above we have the 61cm trimmer. So first of all, let's talk about the similarities between the two. Now obviously these are both Ego trimmers that run the Ego brushless motor. They both use the same battery pack as well, and just tucks in the back there. Both have similar controls, not exactly the same, but a little bit similar. Both have a secondary control up here on your left hand or right hand, whatever side you want, and back here on the trigger as well. So both have very strong hardened steel cutting blades here and here, and also both have a very similar little end bit here. I quite like this little end because I've used trimmers where this bolt is actually sitting up right at the end, and after a while they come loose and start to rattle around. Whereas these ones don't. It's actually set back quite a bit, and there's no chance of it rattling around, even if it does come a little bit loose. So that's really good. They both come with the covers, as you see here. Both have little guards, and like I said, secondary triggers. So the main difference that we start to see with the trimmers, where the 65cm sets itself apart, is obviously in the look. As you can see here, the motor is more pronounced, and it's not in the shroud on the 65cm trimmer. It's because it's a slightly different motor. You've also got a, immediately obviously is the little guide that sits here that the 65cm has, just to help guide if you're cutting some of those thicker branches right up close. It also has an adjustable handle here, so it can actually shift from side to side. Whereas the other 61cm trimmer doesn't have that at all. So you just pull that up and then you can pull it up. You've also got a variable speed on the 65, which the 61 does not have. Some of the items that you can't see as much are the 65cm has the 33mm cutting capacity as compared to the 26mm cutting capacity on the 61cm trimmer. It also has a slightly different strokes per minute as well, so a couple of little differences in how they perform. So like I said, the triggers are very similar. So here you have almost like a palm kind of safety switch with another trigger under your finger. Over on this one you've actually got a thumb switch and an index finger switch here as well as a secondary handle as well on both of them. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll have a bit of a look at and use the trimmers a little bit. We're now at my mum's house, funnily enough, to actually do a bit of trimming. I've got the Ego trimmer sitting behind me with me right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of a stuck into this bush that's sitting behind me. Let's see how they go. I'm going to chuck the camera around and also put the GoPro on the trimmers. Let's have a bit of fun. Probably first up, start with the smaller one perhaps, and then we'll get going onto the bigger one and see how we go. Let's get into it. Alright, so we've just got into using the first of the smaller of the trimmers, and I've got to say I'm really impressed. This bush only gets a trim up maybe once or twice a year whenever I can come down to help out my mum a bit. I usually use the Ego for the top and some of the high bits like the pole saw, but definitely this little one that I thought may even struggle has just absolutely slayed through that. Even the end down the end, it's pretty thick and chunky, some of the branches, and it just took it off straight away. So I'm going to chuck on the big one now. We'll get the GoPro set up on that, and then we'll see how we go. I think it's a little bit lighter over this side, but we'll definitely just see if there's much of a difference we can tell. Maybe if I see if I can find a bit of a thicker branch or something that needs trimming up as well. Let's get into it. Alright everyone, so I've used both of the trimmers that I've got with me here today. I've got the big one sitting on my lap right now. So I guess my findings out of using them both pretty quickly over this back hedge is that they are both very powerful machines. I would probably be perfectly happy with the smaller one, which I'll go through in a second. Again, absolutely slayed it. Anything that I wanted to put through, it just went absolutely no hassles at all. Definitely comparable, if not a little bit better than the battery ones that I've used before. I've got the big one sitting on my lap right now, only because if I was to choose any machine, I would probably choose this one. Not because it's more powerful. I think it definitely is. You can hear it when the motor starts up. You can hear it's got just a different sound to it. So it's definitely a different motor sitting between the two machines. Yes, this one was more powerful. It's a little bit heavier, but the thing that I really liked most about it was the adjustable handle sitting right here. I use this quite a bit throughout doing this hedge, and I think if you're going to be doing any straight hedges similar to what I've done now, it would be a really invaluable thing to have on the machine. In saying that though, this is a more expensive machine, and we will pop up the recommended retail prices on the video as well. So it's not the be all and end all. So if you're a little bit more budget conscious and you've got a certain amount to spend on a hedger that you're looking at using, or maybe only use it once or twice a year, and you go, look, can I really justify the extra? This other smaller machine sitting right here is going to be perfectly fine for it as well. Again, really simple and easy to use and nice and light. It just smashed through everything I could have asked for it. I tried to get on some of the bigger stuff in some of the shots with the GoPro. You'll definitely see that, and it handled that really well as well. So I think at the end of the day, if I was to choose any particular machine, which I can because I got both of them here with me, I would choose the bigger one. But if budget came down to it, I wanted to save myself a few dollars and maybe put it towards a different Ego machine, like, you know, a blower or something like that, I would have absolutely zero hesitations in choosing the smaller of the two. It's not little, it's just smaller of the two machines, because this slide through it, it's nice and comfy, it's quiet, and it's easy to use. Both of them were pretty well balanced as well, with the 2.5 amp hour battery sitting on the back, so that's great as well. If you're going to be using a machine for a long period of time, some really specialist hedging, no qualms at all in going the bigger brother sitting down there. And you maybe even want to get maybe you know, the 7.5 amp hour batteries. I think they've been to a 10 now, and chuck it on the backpack as well and plug it into the machine using the adapter, and that way you would have hours of hedger bliss at your freedom to go through and do anything commercially as well. So I think that's my findings. If budget comes down to it, this machine is going to slay through most things around the house. If you've got a bit of extra to spend and you want a few extra features like the adjustable speed, which it has, and the handle, then definitely go for the better machine. Otherwise, you'll be definitely happy with either of these. As usual with all of our videos, if you like this video, give us a like and thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow and helps us create better content for everyone. Get your lawn on.